Thank you for reminding. So this is from Mary. Hold on, I'm just gonna. My most beloved daughters and sons, thank you for responding to my call, which is the call of love. Every time you gather with love and truth through these holy gatherings around the revelations received and shared by your brother, a pencil in the hand of God, I make my presence known in all my divinity. I am literally with each one of you. I embrace you. I contemplate you and fill you with new life. Your hearts, bodies, and mind receive my peace and wisdom. The grace that proceeds from my immaculate heart flows towards you, and from your humanity is given to the entire world by the spirit of communion that you are. This is why you will become limpid channels of love, pure vehicles of miracles and transformation. I assure you that no one who comes to me does not receive ineffable blessings, just as it always happens when you gather with me in these holy gatherings. I tell you, do not think of these groups as mere spaces for exchanging information. They are not. Rather, accept them as the most holy means of union with Christ, for that is what they are. I bless you in truth. Rejoice in me, just as I rejoice in your willingness to receive the divine presence. Thank you for bringing heaven even closer to earth by your yes to love. All right. Good, my friends. Well, here we are in the Embodiment of Love, the latest book of Sebastian. And we are at page number 8, how it originated. And because we just read 2 paragraphs from that, I think we're just gonna start from the top. And Iona, if you would like to start us off.
How it originated. On August 13, 2023, while I was in silent prayer, suddenly a voice that is not a voice, but pure thought became audible inside me. different from what I had experienced before. The message of this work arise from it. Before the words are given, a sound is present that I would describe as a very strong rumble that crosses the universe, like an infinite number of harps played in unison. There was music, strength, rhythm, beauty, and beatitude. In its presence, the heavens parted and all creation fell silent in the inner experience of my soul. It is not that the universe is silent before the majestic, sweet, and thunderous word that heaven pronounces, but that the soul, the unique identity that you are, is enraptured, ecstatic with love, and entirely focused on listening. The soul reaches such a degree of awareness of the divine word that its spiritual senses rest on nothing else. It lives entirely for that voice, which it recognizes as that of its divine beloved, its creator, its deepest longing, its love in everything.
And sorry for the background noise. We have our roofers working on our roof. Right. They could have taken 5 roofs, but they are here. I expect it's time for a new roof. Yeah? All right. That was beautiful. Thank you. Let's hear this one more time. And Africa, do you have the book? No. Christina? No. Jack, do you have the book? Yes. Would you like to read for us? You just have to unmute.
Okay, let me just grab it real quick.
Yeah. I know it's all new, isn't it?
Sorry, I thought this was at 2. That's why I was eating and
Oh,
everything.
okay, no problem. It is at page 8,
Gotcha.
how it originated.
After hearing the almost deafening music of countless heavenly harps, the sweet voice of love became human words, entirely tender in expression, soft in timbre and color, friendly and perfectly clear. Its presence was accompanied by images of indescribable beauty which I could see with the eyes of spirit. They brought peace, knowledge, and unparalleled joy to my soul. The voice said, I am the spirit of wisdom that lives in you. Do you want me to go on? Or? Each time that experience came, the spirit of wisdom dictated the words that make up this work. The first time that sweet voice of love spoke, it explained these writings are part of a continuum of all those received previously, like another step in the portal of consciousness, the path of ascension of our humanity. The central message of this work is that the time of manifestation of new humanity has begun and is alive in the men and women who embody love in their humanness. The human and the divine are being reunited in love. They are the pioneers, as is everyone who receives this work, in addition to many other souls who will receive it without being consciously aware of doing so. Shall I finish?
No, let's
Okay.
wait later. Wait there for a second. Let's hear this one more time. Mark, if you can reread that to us, starting from after hearing the almost deafening music. You just have to unmute.
After hearing the almost deafening music of countless heavenly harps, the sweet voice of love became human words, entirely tender in expression, soft in timbre and color, friendly and perfectly clear. Its presence was accompanied by images of indescribable beauty, which I could see with the eyes of spirit. They brought peace, knowledge, and unparalleled joy to my soul. The voice said, I am the spirit of wisdom that lives in you. Each time that experience came, the spirit of wisdom dictated the words that make up this work. The first time that sweet voice of love spoke, it explained that these writings are part of the continuum of all those received previously, like another step in the portal of consciousness, the path of ascension of our humanity. The central message of this work is that the time of the manifestation of the new humanity has begun and is alive in the men and women who embody love in their humanness. The human and the divine are being reunited in love. They are the pioneers, as is everyone who receives this work, in addition to many other souls who will receive it without being consciously aware of doing so. I'm not
Thanks.
sure. Is that's it?
Yeah, that's where we ended. And I just want to see if anybody has something arising, a comment, a thought, a feeling.
I,
Hey, yes? Yes,
I
Jack.
do. The line there um, says, if explain that these writings are part of the continuum of all these previous, like another step in the portal of consciousness, the path of ascension to our humanity. But it's the portal of consciousness that jumped out to me because lately I've been seeing, like I've been just watching. Actually, I also want to say, Hub, I met you 3 years ago. I went to your place. I got some myofascial release work when I was out in Sedona doing some journey work, some sacred medicine.
Yes.
And I saw you on the recording and I goes, oh, I got to tell that dude, thank you for referring me because I asked you to put on some chant music and you referred me to these books and my life has not even been close to the same since because at the time when I was out there, I was like, if I can't know Ma in this form, I don't want to be here anymore, you know? And then I did that. You turned me on to these works and I figure now the portal of consciousness, and I look at the consciousness from a young age to where I am now, and everything I did to not feel anything before, and uh, and I feel like the consciousness is like we could just step into that Christness. Second we step out of the door, you know what I mean? All of a sudden that consciousness shift can happen and like we could just be walking embodiments. But and I've been able to see the evolvement of my consciousness with the way the universe has presented to me paths I took up until now. Really, you think, oh, maybe those were wasted years. Nothing was wasted at all. But now I never even knew like to look for love as the underlying cause as opposed to the worldly manifestations. I was trying to change the world through means of the world, like taking on the government and, standing up for this and doing this, filing stuff with this agency and stuff like that. That has nothing to do with it. Although I'm still stuck in it because I've been in it for 20 something years, but I stand as truth. But Yeah, so that message of this, the consciousness, the portal of consciousness, which I think every time I gather in one of these gatherings with like-minded people, I think we just push that needle a little more and more up. So I don't know. That's that's what came to me.
Thank you,
That's my
thank
wish.
you, thank you for sharing, and thank you for sharing the previous thoughts too. Lovely to hear that. Mary,
Uh, Thank you. I was at a meeting yesterday and uh, it was a topic on grief and loss. And I was able to share how there's no loss and no gain. And another person was sharing how, she needed to go through those feelings. And at the end of her time of journaling, or however she did that, she realized in her essence that everything was really nothing had happened. And after the meeting, I went over to her and I said, "How did you come to that?" And she said, "Well, I've been doing this work for 12 years, and it wasn't any work like we've been doing with Sebastian." But she said, "I think it was just consciousness." I was just about fell over because it's like, I am hearing this from people that have never picked up A Course in Miracles. They've never picked up Choose Only Love. And they're able to articulate that consciousness has brought this to them. So I find that this reading this morning about this, how this works, I am seeing it out in my life with other people that are in different groups than this, that are getting almost the same words, even because one of the griefs was unexpressed love. I have never heard that before. And it sounds so much like what we're being called to do now. It's like, be who you are. It's like, I'm not here to be perfect. I'm here to be love. I'm here to express love. I'm here, and wow, I am so happy to be in groups like this. I just think right here, I'm getting the cutting edge and being told I am and what my purpose is in life. And it's so lovely. I'm complete.
thank you for sharing, and it is beautiful how we are all connected, yes, invisibly. Yogi, and then Christina.
Yeah, thank you. I'm curious how you pronounce your first name.
I say it in Dutch, so I would say Huip, but you can say Hup, like the hub of the wheel. It's good.
Yeah, thank you, Hub. I appreciate you facilitating this so competently. And I just appreciate what Mary just shared. As Sebastian said, what Mary was sharing is through the mouth in the light of the divine. I love how she sees that in others because that sweet love in expression is her. I believe once we become that loving energy that vibrates in the highest frequency, our words, our lips can represent that, like Sebastian shared. Um, I more and more I'm seeing myself be an expression of that divine abundance as I practice being mindful and present in that inner kingdom. I love what A Course of Love describes this state of mind of being accomplished. I'm complete. Thank you.
Thank you, Yogi, for sharing that. Christina.
Yes, I was having the same thoughts and Jack mentioned the Christ consciousness, and what really called out to me, I don't have the book, but was the path of ascension to humanity. And I thought that is through our love, our being, our spirit. And I just thought that was wonderful. So that's what I'm sharing.
Thank you for sharing that. I want to reread the central message one more time. Iona, if you can. Well, actually, it's very loud here. Ruben, do you have the book?
Yes, the central
Yeah,
message.
yeah, and if you then just read all the way till the end.
All right. The central message of this work is that the time of the manifestation of a new humanity has begun and is alive in the men and women who embody love in their humanities. The human and the divine are being reunited in love. They are the pioneers, as is everyone who receives this work, in addition to many other souls who will receive it without being consciously aware of doing so. Remembering what it is like to live on earth as the embodiments of love that we are, and expressing it is what these messages from heaven are about. We are ready. The spirit of wisdom that lives in me and in every living being says so. Why now and not before? We are just emerging from the identity crisis in which all of humanity has been immersed, universally asleep to our true identity. Once we leave this crisis behind, we set out to bear witness to the truth of our being, the love that we truly are. Now is the time for the incarnation of universal love. Now is the time for the second coming, no longer in a single man or woman, but in each and every human being, as well as in every aspect of creation. This revelation is about becoming aware of it and making a reality here and now.
Thank you, Ruben, for reading it. I want to hear that one more time. Suzanne, would you like to reread that for us, starting again from the central message?
Yes, I managed to get the book after Iona's email. The central message of this work is that the time of the manifestation of a new humanity has begun and is alive in the men and women who embody love in their humanness. The human and the divine are being reunited in love. They are the pioneers, as is everyone who receives this work, in addition to many other souls who will receive it without being consciously aware of doing so. Remembering what it is like to live on earth as the embodiments of love that we are, and expressing it, is what these messages from heaven are about. We are ready. The spirit of wisdom that lives in me and in every living being said so. Why now and not before? We are just emerging from the identity crisis in which all of humanity has been immersed, universally asleep to our true identity. Once we leave this crisis behind, we set out to bear witness to the truth of our being, the love that we truly are. Now is the time for the incarnation of universal love. Now is the time for the second coming, no longer in a single man or woman, but in each and every human being, as well as in every aspect of creation. This revelation is about becoming aware of it and making it a reality here and now.
Good to hear this a second time, isn't it?
Mm.
So let's see if there's any other thoughts. I put myself on mute more often because there's so much going on here. So I don't want it to be interrupted in that way.
Funnily enough, Hub, it doesn't come from you, but it does come when Iona speaks. I don't know how near apart you are, but I don't get it when you're speaking.
It was
Really?
right above her and then right above me.
It's amazing.
Good.
There must be some symbol there.
Yes. Well, as I said, a new roof. Yes. So, Christina.
Yes, I've seen, at least I feel within me, the power of the transformation and the effect that it has on other people, the people who are, as it was read, unaware. And yet their response when you are in that Christ consciousness, they respond, they feel it without recognizing, because you see a total change in their behavior or responses. So I think that when we are able to embody it, it has that natural spread. It just, the energy, the frequency is flowing. And even though they aren't recognizing it, they feel it. So I just think that's wonderful. And that's what we're so lucky to be able to share together, because we're on that same frequency or um, level of empowerment within the spirit.
Yes, beautiful. Yes, everybody knows it. And sometimes we may not see it, but still it's happening. Ruben.
Thank you. And one of the best examples that we have today, it was the encounter with Hub and Jack 3 years ago. We never knew. And now Jack is here. And he looked like another person. And Hub didn't know. And we don't really know how our words, our actions, when we share this truth, we don't really know how far it takes us. It is wonderful to be the embodiment of love at every moment. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, we just feel it. We don't have to be in all these groups. We just feel it. Love is a universal language. So thank you for these groups and for the reading of embodiments of love. I'm complete. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruben. Yes, this, I think it was Ruby out of Omar Khayyam who says, he who casts you down the field, he knows about it all. He knows. So although we may not know, he knows. Yes, it's good that somebody knows what he's doing. But somebody also once said, it's difficult to work with somebody who's always right. Yogi and then Rija.
I love what Ruben just shared, as we feel that love within us, the love of God within us now. That experience of our own second coming extends outward and affects other minds. But does it really extend outward and affects other mind? Is there really one mind and there's nothing outside of us? I love that statement, reunited in love. That to me means there's a holy marriage here in oneness with Source. That we could emerge in this house of truth within and in our being here and now. I have many examples of that, but I would love to hear what's being continue being shared here. I also appreciate what Christina shared. Thank you. I'm complete.
Thank you, Yogi, for sharing. Rija?
Thank you. Actually, where he said, remembering what it is like to live on earth as the embodiment of love that we are and expressing it is what these messages of heaven are about. That's the epitome of embodiments of love for me. It's remembering, what it's like to live on earth as embodiments. That's my goal. That's my purpose. And then he said, we are ready. And I have to tell you that I have a Course in Miracles original edition Zoom on Thursday night, and I can't help but mention embodiments of love. And I said that in there, the spirit of wisdom said, we are ready. And that, I just got chills again. This one woman just said, oh, that hit her so deeply. Just the words, we are ready. We are ready to do this. And she emailed me later. It really struck her. And I think he also said, why now and not before? We're just emerging from the identity crisis. What I see, and I said this in the group, I believe we're at a pinnacle of consciousness. That's what it feels like for me, that how that change is happening exponentially with AI. Everything is like exponential. That means it's really expanding like at an astronomical rate. Consciousness is just opening and opening like a 1,000-petaled lotus. And it opened with A Course in Miracles in the 60s and 70s and 80s, and it opened with A Course of Love. And it opened with Choose Only Love. And it's opening with embodiments of love. And it is, as Jack pointed out too, right? Jack's it's the what did it say? It's the continuum of all those previously received. So that's the feeling I want to express, that there's no accidents. And when he says, why now and not before? Now is the only time there is. How beautiful is that? So in the now, in this beautiful holy instant, we are ready. I'm just saying. Okay, thank you. Complete.
Thank you for sharing that. Jack?
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of share an experience I'm going through, because it says, even those who aren't reading these words will get it. And I just know I'm kind of seeing it kind of through my family, how they're reacting to me lately, and how I'm actually just trying to bring love into the family, because we didn't speak about, love wasn't just, oh, I love you, say that. It's like, and I got an older brother that actually, like, we're kind of oil and water at times, but he's been noticing something. He wants to talk, but he doesn't want to talk about anything deep. And, but I just, so when starting to read these books, I'm like, oh, I can start bringing love to the family. So instead of getting mad at my older brothers for not having gatherings, because basically it's my nieces and nephews that I love to see when we gather, and they're all older. They all grew into great adults. And so I'm like, screw it. I'll just start calling them, hanging out, going out to dinner with them. And I'm building up a nice relationship with them. My brother's seeing that, and he doesn't get along with his daughter. So we were talking the other day, and he's like, yeah, I don't know. I give up. I goes, look, you just don't give up on your daughter. You know what I mean? I mean, she's smart. She got her own family. And so we hung up. I had to get on a call, and I just actually was with Sebastian Tuesday. And I get on the call, and then, the insight comes in, and I shoot him a text afterwards. I said, "Hey, Lou, instead of trying to, make Melissa who you want her to be, I said, why don't you just love her for who she is, right?" Not more than a minute later goes by, and he picks up the phone. He's like, "Where do you get this shit?" And I'm like, "Oops, I guess the conversation isn't going too far from here." But although earlier at Easter, he called me, "Thank you for, everything you brought to the gathering and this and that." And I goes, "Lou, I just brought a cake." He goes, "I don't know," but he goes, but he was saying he can see it, but he just doesn't want to, he can't get out of this yet. You know what I mean? And it's kind of sad because all the disharmony is creating effects in his body too, and he's going through some stuff, and I'm pretty sure he wants to. And this is also a guy though that had someone tried stealing the car when he was a kid. He jumped in the car. He was hanging half out. They crashed into a dealership and they totaled like three cars and two trucks. And he come out without a scratch. And he said when he was going through the air, he felt Mother Mary holding him. To have that experience at such a young age and just to see him like resist like everything now, it's just kind of like it's but I realize the message doesn't come from me because I'm the baby of the family. He's the oldest. There's two in between us. And according to him, what do I know about love? I've never been married and I've never owned a house. So so I gotta take a back seat and just give him to Ma. But I don't know. I just wanted to share that.
Thanks for sharing that, Jack. And consciousness is an interesting phenomena because what it does to get to know itself goes beyond our, let's say, intellectual understanding or comprehension. Yes, that's why the heart is so important. And by the way, welcome, Bonnie and Stephanie. We finished how it originated at page 9. Just to give you an update. Susan, please let you hear your thought.
Do you know, until Iona sent me this information, I wasn't even aware of this book. And I've just been very embedded in resurrection consciousness. And I'm just reading it and rereading it. And I honestly didn't think there'd be anything that would come after it. Because that in itself sort of, makes my mind go, ooh. So part of me, I'm still wanting to say, we can't be ready to step into the portal when we haven't worked out resurrection. Well, when I haven't worked out resurrection consciousness yet, I feel like it's left hanging. And how do we live that? So I'd be grateful for any observations on that. If that doesn't feel like taking you back, though, I don't want to do that either. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Well, let's see if anything comes up for anybody. In about a couple of minutes, we will finish with this first part of the meeting, and we'll go into the embodiment of this, what will be led by Iona this time. So we have let's say 1 more minute if anybody wants to say something before we go into the next part. Africa. And Iona just reminded me that it's going to be probably a kind of a challenge with this backgrowing noise. So maybe we'll just continue for this meeting like the way we're doing right now, and we continue reading. Africa, and then Christina.
Just what Suzanne mentioned. I think last week Iona said that, the times are collapsing. So embodying all these new concepts, and not new concepts because they're not new, but the way of embodiment is just, it ties it all together from the previous two books, I think. And I'm reading them and listening to it at the same time, and it's like a body shock and a brain shock and then a heart shock. But it's just like, I think for today, the words that really resonated with me is the identity crisis as who I thought I was, what I'm becoming, and what I'm embodying. It's it's powerful. It's powerful in all ways. So thank you.
Thank you for sharing it. Christina?
I also am responding to Susan, and I agree that what I found for myself is just being open and creating that space enables us to receive through our openness. It comes to you. It isn't something that you work for because it's in our memory and it's always present. And as you're reading, as at least for me, as I've been more and more involved, it's just come. It's the transformation is real. It happens. But I believe it happens through your openness, just opening your heart and connecting your mind and heart together enables you to receive. It's all out there. And connecting with these uh, facilitators and others of higher frequencies with through shared knowledge, it makes it possible. It isn't something you need to work on or just be true. Be true to yourself, and the spirit the spirit is alive and well and very, very powerful. So anyway, it is wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Yogi and then Bonnie.
That's interesting to attempt to describe resurrection consciousness. I think for me, because of my practice of the Noble Eightfold Path, extensive practice, I see more and more without judgment because I've witnessed the reactions, the craving and aversions within me. And my mind is much more peaceful. And I feel like from that peace, there's radiation that's coming. And that's important for me to be free of all those reactions, cravings, and aversions and ignorance. And because of the mind discipline, there's a form of being in the moment, present moment, mostly moment by moment. Thus, it's like a timeless awareness where you carry the quietness within. I'm complete. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. Bonnie, and welcome, Ian.
Thank you. Sorry I was late. Yeah, so I'm kind of playing catch up on where the context has been, but based on the last couple of minutes. For myself, my experience in wow, embodiment, it's just total grace. For me, it's seamless. It's I am in awe. I am humbled. And it's like it's not the doing for me. It's the man, oh man, I've done the striving and goodness. I'm sure it was perfect, but now it's just the allowing for me of the grace. And it's all a miracle for which I'm most grateful. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you all for sharing, Stephanie.
I just wanted to add, Suzanne, when I think about that embodiment of resurrection, and we use all these words of freedom and love and peace and letting go, and the words don't do it justice because it's really about feeling. When you step into that feeling, it's one thing to say that I have gratitude, but to really embody gratitude, that feeling of it with abandonment takes you into a whole nother level of being. So, in that place of freedom and surrender, going into feeling is the most powerful place that I have experienced the things that we're talking about. And my battery's running low and I need to get plugged in. So thank you.
Thank you for sharing that, Stephanie. Mark or Dominique?
Okay, this is Dominique. I'm on.
You're on, honey.
I will be short, but I want to tell you about the truth of who I am. I'm just a feeling everything, and that's the journey of my life. But I was invited Saturday to go to Sedonia for a beautiful transmission of the Lion Gate, and I didn't know what to expect. I just knew that would be extraordinary. And when we arrived there, we had to park in a different place. And next to it, it was a little piece of art that I saw when I was in France and I was a teenager. It was a little E.T. And it was so precious. And it was there. And it was like, we would never have seen it unless we parked there. And of course, it brought me like, wow, consciousness. And during this incredible evening and transmission, it took us so deep into the other world, into the galactic. And because of you and where I stand with being and listening, I open just to the galactic because I know this real, but the experience Friday night put me like, there is no question. There is no question. It's about being and feeling and becoming and transcending, and wow. And then when we went back to the truck, little E.T. was waiting. And I just wanted to share. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing, Dominique. Ruben?
And the last paragraph that we just read, now is the time for the incarnation of universal love. It's now. Now. And the last part of this paragraph, this revelation is about becoming aware of it and making it reality here and now. And we know, most of us, all of us, that everything is happening now. So the past doesn't touch now. No future, just now. But in that now, we have all these instant. We have this instant. So everything from the past, the whole universe, the whole thing, all the conflict, all the history is embraced in this instant. And this instant is in my mind. It is in my mind. So make a holy Ruben. So I drop this instant to embrace this holy instant in the now. And it is a feeling, like Stephanie said. Feel this instant and feel this holy instant in the now. And now let this holy instant be revealed to you. We will know and you will feel that this holy instant is being embraced by eternity. Eternity. So drop this holy instant and let eternity embrace you. Feel it. Feel it. And from that place, drink your coffee, go to work, drive your car. We are eternity. Now, all these words, all these symbols are being held by love. Love. Love is everything. So I drop all these symbols, all these words, and what is left is just love. The language that God speak, the language that our beings speak, love. No borders, no image, just pure love, just pure feeling, pure energy. From that place, drink your coffee, talk to the neighbor, do whatever you want from that place. And I love these encounters because God, everything is love. Love is only love. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I am complete.
Thank you for sharing that, Ruben. And Mark, if you can be on mute. I want to thank everybody for their sincere sharing. And I thought the way we can end this time, I thought we can just be quiet and hold in our heart whatever we feel is important to uplift each other, humanity, the planet, galaxies, however you want to do it. And we'll take 2 minutes for that before we close the meeting, and we'll just go out silently. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for showing up, and blessings to all your beautiful hearts. Till next Sunday or tomorrow. Ciao.